Hello, friends and knife nerds. This is the Spyderco Paramilitary 3, and I did change the scales. So this original edition came with G10 S45 blade G10 scales, but I really wanted to get something different. I really like the way the Flytanium Lotus scales looked, and they are on sale right now for $54 for a pair. So I ran over and grabbed them and put them on immediately, and they look awesome, in my opinion. I'm very curious what you guys think, but this is the Paramilitary 3. So this is a smaller, more EDC-friendly version, I guess you might want to say, version of the Paramilitary, the smallest of the group. The Military, and then the Paramilitary 2, and then the Para 3. And this is such a great design. I'm a big fan of the Paramilitary 2. I love my PM2. So I thought a smaller EDC-friendly version has really sounded great. I just hadn't pulled the trigger and bought one yet, but here we are, and I got these carbon fiber scales, keep the weight down really well. Nested liners, as you can see, and same old gigantic Spyderco paper clip, kidding, pocket clip, and yeah, putting these scales on. If you're ever swapping out scales, the lanyard tube, getting that to release is a lot of work, and there are many tips out there for getting it. If you have troubles, let me know, and I can tell you a trick or two that will work. So, the Paramilitary 3. This is a cool knife. This is nice and lightweight. Let's double check the weight. What do we got for a weight, especially with these carbon fiber scales on her? 3.21 ounces. 3.2. Fine. Fine. You lied to me. 3.2. Very good. That is a nice weight for an EDC knife, and this thing just really looks great. I dig the scales, I dig the knife, I dig the action. Now you can see one of the nice parts about the Paramilitary 3 is the ergonomics. They are beautiful. The chamfering on this is nice, and this is just part of the Lotus, not the actual. The G10 are just very flat scales, and these aren't really contoured. Maybe slightly contoured, not really. But the ergonomics on this are very similar to the G10, but they're a little better. But the ergonomics, as we're talking about in blade geometry, the top jimping and the under jimping really make for absolutely amazing comfort and stability when using this knife. Really nice. The jimping is so sharp, it doesn't hurt the finger, but it grabs the finger very nicely. Then you have this beautiful leaf-shaped blade that is very sharp when you get it, and man, it's just a great knife. Then you have the compression lock. It is a form of the liner lock. As you can see, it's just the liner here that is releasing. There's a little liner clips out and underneath the blade, and then you get your lockup. You can't really see it in there. You see it better from the top. Push in, release. Out, moves over, and there you go. So it's a form of a liner lock, but it is different. And the action is awesome. Very snappy blade. It is actually fidgety, and I like that about it. But man, I like the all black. I wanted a black blade because I think there are just so many more options when you want to mess around with your scales. And S45V end steel, you can see some of the knife lube right there, so just ignore that. Sorry about the glare from it. But Spyderco CPM S45BN. Yes, it is a CPM steel, which is in case any of you don't know, it's a powdered metallurgy process that really allows for tightly packed carbides and gives a lot of hardness and edge keeping to a steel. So it's CPM is always a preferred process for me. If I see a CPM blade, usually I'm in, but they're pricier. Oops, see, gotta kind of get it right, snap it out. It rolls out very nicely too, shuts so well, And got that Spyderco patented blade hole for deployment, and just beautiful. Really nice job here. I like the scales quite a bit. Carbon fiber is awesome. So we have weighed it, but now, was it found wanting? Let's see. What do we got? Just a hair under 3, 2.9 inches-ish blade. And then overall, what are we dealing with? Overall, we're dealing with, let me get that there, 7 and, shoot, what is that? 7 1/4 inch, so 7.25-ish inches in total. It's a really nice sized EDC. So now I'm going to quickly bring in the comparison. Para 3 meet Para 2. Let's put them up there. Pivot to pivot. Now you can really see the difference. Definitely a smaller blade, and yeah, for sure, a smaller blade. I think this is closer to 3.5 inches, while you have just a hair under 3 here. And see, because the version I bought, you can't really mess around with it and change the scales, because they did that with the Crewwear edition, where there's just a difference in the way they made it, so you can't just swap scales out with a lot of the versions of the scales made. But this version I bought of the Para 3, you can swap scales out. There are a lot of scales made widely for it. So that is the Para 2, that is the Para 3, and let's bring another one in, one of my absolute favorites in my collection, the Mannix 2. This is a pile of Spyderco knives, and well, pivot to pivot, right? There we go. There you go. Hopefully that's a good visual comparison for those of you wondering if you want the 2 or the 3. You got the just about 8-inch version. They're basically the same knife. They're just small. This is just smaller, and that is just larger. That is it. Mannix 2 is just out there. It's a nice, good-sized knife, about the size of the Para 2, and just an amazing knife in itself, and one of my favorites. So I just wanted to show you guys a quick comparison, especially between these two. That is what you're looking at size-wise. Yeah, this Para 3 is, man, let me try that again. Finger was getting stuck on that. Sorry, folks. But that is your leaf-shaped blade. Beautifully made, beautifully designed from Spyderco. So let me know what you guys think. Are you a fan of the 2, the 3, or none of them, or all of them? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys next time.